Welcome back to Maniacal Music Musings, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always. And if I never breathe again, then I'll tell you tonight it's going to be one of our best shows ever. I'm not kidding. I am with you through all the storms of Africa, whether it be part one or part two, because they're both good. In Custom Ipsio, I armed up to conquer the dragon from Lower Hill, and that's why I'm here tonight. True story. My co-host, though, who actually made it this time. Some call him Peg Leg Silly Billy, but I know he's just vibing with his Orinoco flow in his exile with his Moonlight Mama. He lives for war and peace as he's screaming at anyone who will listen, find me some pretty girls so I can rise up and just let it be. He says daily, give me your love and I'll make brighter days come for you. CJ playing the music god himself.
Hey, yo. What's up, Mom?
I totally had to edit out the MF part. I usually do with your name. I was like, oh, oops, can't say that now. But yes, no, folks, you're mute.
I'm here, kind of.
Yeah,
98% here.
Thankfully you are. Thankfully you took care of yourself. But folks, we are back once again to talk about music, simply put, because you know how much we love it. And these albums this week are not our usual type of albums, but you know what? It's good to go off the grid sometimes because you find things that you didn't think you'd like, but you actually end up liking. Who knew? And wait till you hear what they are because you're going to be like, you like that? Yeah, I did. What can I say? But let me introduce our returning guest because she had to come back a second time because me and her had so much fun the first time we recorded, and I had to have CJ meet her. Ladies and gentlemen, Autumn Williams, poet and author, is back on Maniacal Musings. Welcome back, I guess.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna say why she's back just yet because that would just ruin things. So, she had fun last time, that's for damn sure. But she also talked about certain artists, and we're gonna talk about them in a little bit. But why don't you remind the folks at home in case they missed the first episode, which you should go back and listen to that, folks. Just saying. But tell us about your poetry a little bit, just so people who haven't heard about you before can be acquainted.
Yeah. So I am the author of 2 poetry books, Waves and Clouds on the Ground. I post on Instagram and have pretty active on sharing my poetry there. I wrote just some modern poetry, free verse. I like to write in a way to make things universal. So it's often about having a chronic illness, but it's not directly about having a chronic illness. So I'll write about nature or loss or love in a way that helps everyone feel seen and heard, like they can put their own lives in the poetry.
And you are pretty active on Instagram. I see your stories all the time, and I'm sitting there reading them. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, I wish I could write this good. And I mean, for a general audience, I mean, I could write good for certain audiences, but general audiences, not my style. Not my style to write for those people. But not in today's world, at least. But let's get right into it because she's been here before. She knows the format. What album did you want to bring? Because we talked about this artist last time, and you sent me down a wormhole of exploration with this artist. So please, what album did you want to bring, Autumn?
Awesome. Well, I wanted to do Enya, so that was hard to pick the album, but I picked Watermark, one of her earlier ones. It has my favorite Enya song in that album.
I wonder if it's my favorite too, actually. I'm kind of curious now, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. You know, I think we're gonna go by release year for this week, and I don't know I never heard CJ talk about this before, so I'm kind of curious. CJ, what did you think of Enya?
I know most people would look at me, knowing my background, and probably be shocked by the fact that I am a pretty big fan of Enya. Have been since she was in Clanad with the rest of her brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. It's kind of a family man for her. She's got one of them voices I sort of compare her to Sarah Brightman a lot. They have those ethereal voices that sort of transcend um, your typical music, and it's one of the musics that when I need something to just really relax and chill, um, she's one of the three people that I will go to kind of just sort of lay in bed, lights off, and just turn the surround sound on to just kind of vibe out. I hate using that term vibe out, but it's kind of why I like her, because her music is very beautiful, very, for lack of a better word, it's very ethereal, um, or ethereal, however you want to use the word. Um, she's a great, she's got two co-writers that she writes with, but they make a great um, songwriting
Team.
group, and a team. I guess that's a good word. If my words don't make sense tonight, I apologize. They think I had a seizure the other day, and they're still trying to figure out what's going on. So my words are kind of hard to come with right now. But I like Enya a lot. She's one of my more favorite female singers, and she's kind of holds a special place in my heart. So, um, yes, I know not somebody that you would expect me to know about or like, but I think you've learned by now that that's pretty normal for me to.
Well, I was gonna say you're called the music god for a reason. So I know you. I knew you had come across her at some point.
I'll be right back.
All right. I mean, he's called the music god, folks. I knew he'd be knowing her one way or another. I just didn't know whether it was gonna be love or hate. I didn't know which way it was gonna go. I was prepared for either with him, as always, but I didn't know which way it was gonna go, honestly. And not surprising though. It doesn't surprise me, at least. I know him well enough. But I have never really. Well, here's the funny thing. Funny he mentioned laying in bed, because I never thought I knew who Enya's music. I never thought I knew her name, of course, because everybody knows her name. She's famous, but I never knew her music. I didn't think. One song I definitely knew, because as a kid who grew up in the '90s and would be laying in bed at night, and you fall asleep with the TV on back in the '90s before sleep timers and all that, and there'd be these late night infomercials where they'd advertise albums. And as soon as I heard one song start, I was like, no. And I was like, oh my God. I used to love hearing this song at 3 a.m. in the morning, waking me up. It was so weird. I was like, wow, I can't believe this is Enya. Okay. This kind of brings it full circle back to my childhood. But I want to say it was almost on one of those CDs that was Native American music they advertised it as, or one of those like calming, peaceful CDs they advertised that was like a compilation of music that makes you like just calm.
Pure Moon. It was called Pure Moon. Yeah, the CD that they were selling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds right. But CJ will get a quick fill into this when he gets back. But I actually enjoyed this album. I mean, it's not the typical music I ever would listen to, and I almost feel like she writes the. I almost feel like she would the normal metal I listen to, that I know you can't really listen to, but the normal metal I listen to, I feel like she does the intro tracks. I feel like she does the interlude tracks. I feel like she does all those type of tracks, because that's music that they have in those. And well, I don't listen to those types of tracks like religiously. I don't put them in my like list ever, because it's just like, okay, this is a good intro, this is a good interlude, but it's not something I'll listen to over and over again. It's beautiful music, but I need words, I need lyrics usually. But some of her stuff I did put in my like list. I'm like, all right, I could if I'm driving down the road and this comes on, I probably wouldn't change it unless I'm in a bad mood. Like I could take this. Like, it's relaxing, it's peaceful, it's calming, it's it makes you it don't, like he said, it kind of like upsends space and time and just makes you feel different. Like I mean, I don't know. Part of me wants to listen to the CD in another state of mind and just see what happens and see if I get into a trance of some kind. Like it's trippy. It's trippy in a way, and I love that though. I I don't know. I might have to I might have to go check out everything else you ever put out because I'm kind of curious now. I thought it was gonna be like one of those. I thought it was one of those like I thought it was gonna be one of those. I hear Enya and I immediately thought like, and I know I'm horrible for this, but I thought it was gonna be like one of those feminist, strong like singers like I can't even think of a name, but one of those like Burning Man type of artist who just did like very strong feminism music, and I was like, oh god, I'm like I'm dreading this, and I put it on, I'm like, that's not what this is. Okay, perception has been blown. Thank you, that's amazing, and the album just I enjoyed it. Just sitting on my couch today, listening to it, I like got the baby asleep, and I was just like, oh, okay, I can now relax and enjoy this, and it's peaceful. I don't mind sitting here like doing random other things, my computer, my phone, listening to this. It's good background music. So you may have got Enya another fan. I ain't kidding. She's a very well done artist. I love learning new things on this show, and that's just you did it. You introduced me to something new that I never would have thought I never would have listened to it if I wasn't brought in this show. So well done.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think. What album did you bring last time? I had it in my head earlier today, but I just lost it.
We did Evergreen.
Oh, I definitely like her better than Evergreen. I'll say that much. Evergreen's not bad, but I mean, I definitely didn't mind them. But I like Enya a lot more, and that's not something I ever thought I would say about Enya. But this is also me going into it with a blank mind and not knowing what I was really talking about, just assumptions based on what I've heard about her. So, I mean, yeah, overall, I learned to enjoy Enya greatly, and I would love to check out her other stuff in the future. I really would. Yeah, CJ, I just gave a glowing review of Enya. So,
yeah, like I said, I love Enya. I apologize that stupid Firefox decided to do an update right in the middle of me talking.
Of course, computers, not man's friend. That's for sure. But yeah,
I love Enya. So great choice.
And it's funny, CJ, because actually, like, I thought about it when I heard the one song today. I was like, I used to hear this all the time at 3 a.m. when they would advertise CDs and back on TV back in the 90s. So it's that kind of blew my mind that I was on this album. I'm like, oh my god, that's this. And I saw the name, and I'm like, I saw the title of a certain track, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I know those lyrics. I know the lyrics. Like, I'll get to it when I get to the song. I don't want to ruin things, but I knew those lyrics right away. And I'm like, that can't be the same song. There's no way it's gonna all come full circle. And surprised me enough it did. So love it. I love going full circle, and that just brought my childhood back into my adulthood. So memories of falling asleep at and leaving the TV on all night. It goes from Nick at Night to infomercials, but gotta love it. So, what are your top 5 tracks on them? As you know, this is my favorite part of anything.
Yeah. So, number 5 was Evening Falls. Number 4 is River. Number 3 is On Your Shore. Number 2 is Orinoco Flow. And number 1, Storms in Africa Part 2. That's my favorite one of all time, out of all her music.
You only had 2 of the ones I got on my list. That's interesting. All right. I mean, and I had a feeling we'd be a little bit different, but damn, that's surprising. But CJ, what were your top 5 or whatever you happen to grab?
I have Orinoco Flow, Evening Falls. My favorite is actually The Long Ships. It's kind of one of them songs that it doesn't really have like definitive lyrics per se, but it's got this sort of just very unique vibe to it that like you could see it in a TV show like Vikings or Norsemen or something like that. Like you could it's that sort of it makes like a perfect sort of background score for a film of that type, you know, or even like Lord of the Rings or something like that, you know.
Well, that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing, because when I read her Spotify bio today, I was like, oh, she's done a lot of background music for BBC shows, so that makes sense.
And Lord of the Rings. She's been in Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say she literally had the main theme from the first Lord of the Rings movie was her. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was her. So
the one that was just called The Shire.
No, it was Who I Am.
I
can't think of the name of it, but it was something.
I think it is Who I Am. I think you're right. Because I'm a huge.
She sings "May It Be" in Lord of the Rings.
May it be. That's
it. Maybe, yeah.
May it be. That's it.
I
knew I was getting it wrong, but
you got it close.
I
looked it up to make sure.
So. I mean, I'm a huge LOTR fan, so like that and honestly doesn't surprise me to hearing this album, like that she did that, but it doesn't surprise me at all. But now I gotta go look for that song and be like, all right, which one she write? But all right, so for most of the albums today, I had an honorable mention, I believe. Actually, no, for her I didn't. But the 5 songs that really, really stuck out to me. My 5 and my 4 kind of go together, because my 5 was Storms in Africa and my 4 was Storms in Africa Part 2. Don't know why, but songs that have Africa in the title, I usually end up digging, or written my band name Africa. So, like I really enjoyed those 2 songs, and Storms in Africa 2. What a way to end the album, and such a lively, fun song. Like, I enjoyed the heck out of that one. I really did. And my number 3 was Cursum Perifico, because it sounds like it should be in Lord of the Rings or a fantasy movie of some type. Like, it sounds, it's what I was saying before when CJ dropped off. Like, it sounds like it should be an intro track for Nightwish or Avantasia or any of the bands I listen to. So, it really was a fun song. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And my number 2 was Exile, which nobody mentioned yet. And I'm like, how's somebody mentioned this?
That's one of my honorable mentions is Exile. I do really like that one.
I can't tell what instrument it is, and I couldn't find it on Google either, but like the flute or whatever it is in that song is just gorgeous. I mean, it reminds me of what's the name of it? The instrument that the one guy in Nightwish plays, that Trey Donnelly plays.
I think it's a Cerulean flute.
Yeah, Cerulean flute, I think it's what it's called. And I love that instrument. It's beautiful whenever it's played. And I mean, Trey does an amazing job with it in Nightwish, but I totally dug it in that song. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, this. I mean, I know she's Irish, or I think Irish, if I'm not mistaken. But I expected some Irish music, traditional type stuff here, and I wasn't disappointed. I got to go back and check out her family band, because that sounds like something I would really enjoy.
Yeah, when I was reading about it. But it's kind of in the Sinead O'Connor vein.
So. Don't make me not want to listen to it. But,
it's different.
Okay, I'll say it. I am not a Sinead O'Connor fan. Her best song.
It doesn't sound like Sinead. It's just kind of in that pop vein, like Sinead is.
You're talking about Clannad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like them, but it's very different.
Okay, I mean, I honestly may dig it then, but yeah, I mean, okay, just don't. You had to say Sinead O'Connor though. I'm like, I don't like her. Her best song was written by Prince, and he did it better. So, I mean, come on now. But and my number 1 had to be Orinoco Flow, because I heard on so many commercials in the 90s. I freaking love that song. Like, the amount of times I woke up in the middle of the night and sail away, sail away, sail away is playing on the TV, and I was like, what is this song that they're playing? I'm like, I never heard this song. Like, it's just the most random music ever. But oh my God, when as soon as I came on, I heard like the freaking music drop. I was like, no, it can't be. And okay, there it is. Oh God. And what did you say the name of that CD was from the 90s? I might have to look that up. You said the name earlier.
Clannad, the name of the band.
No.
That she sang with. No.
The name of the compilation.
Pure Moods.
Pure Moods. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
might
should check it out. It's got amazing music on it.
I might have to. I mean, I was back then in the day. You would have to go or either call the number or go on the website and buy it. And I was too young to do that. So, but I enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Enya amazingly. Like it blew me. It blew me away how much I liked Enya. It really did.
Yeah. One of the cool things to me about Enya, she was how I discovered the musician Luca Bloom. And Luke has another one who, if you've never heard his music, he's incredible. He's sort of this Irish, he's a singer-songwriter type, plays guitar. But he kind of he's sort of the male version of Enya. He has this voice that's just really sort of magical almost when he sings. You know, he's got that Irish tilt to his voice. It's very mellow and very soft. And, you know, with the guitar that he plays, he's really a wonder to listen to. Like, he's another one that writes like really great songs. So he did a duet with Enya on one of the records, one of the songs. I think it was a Christmas one, if I remember correctly. And he was so good on it. I looked him up and just become like an instant fan. So
well, I'll get into that more with my album, but I discovered so many artists that way by looking them up when they were on other people's albums. Like, I discovered so many good artists that way, and I never knew existed. So honestly, it's a great guest spots are a great way to find new artists to love. It really is. I have a huge list on my Spotify of artists to check out still that I happen to find on a Powerwolf album or on another album. So it's always a good way to find music. It really is. But all right, well, I wanted to go in chronological release order here of these albums, and CJ, that means you're next because your album came out a few years before mine did, and I'm dying to hear why you brought this album. I really
am. I brought this one mainly for two reasons. One, when I saw her choice and your choice, I don't have a massive list of artists that are more mellow. I mean, a lot of the stuff I listen to is kind of rock oriented in some form or another, even if it's like the country Americana stuff or even like the blues stuff. It's more guitar heavy. So my brain immediately went, okay, she chose Enya. The first voice that popped into my head, you know, when it comes to voices, is Dimash. If you don't know who Dimash is, I really can't describe him to you other than to say, go listen to him. It's just one of them things you have to experience because you can't properly describe what this guy can do. I do a YouTube music reaction channel. One of the people on there said you have to react to Dimash. No idea who Dimash was. So I looked him up. His version of the song SOS, which is a famous sort of French opera Broadway song. I was in tears by the end of it. It was just like, holy crap, who is this guy? And how the hell did he learn to sing like that? And then, of course, all his fans come flooding in. You know, all this information. He's from Kazakhstan. He's 26, 7.5 octave vocal range, you know, which is inhumane, basically, for the most part. Like, average human has about 3 octaves. Great singers like Freddie Mercury normally maybe have 5. So to have 7.5 octaves is just alien, pretty much. So I chose, he has 2 records out. There's this one, and then there's the one that he did with Leo, which is mostly in Russian. It's a beautiful record, but Russian's not probably the easiest language to listen to songs in. So I chose this one. and Dimash. His name is Dimash Quadenbergen. But look him up. Watch what he can do. He's got videos, and they're not just videos; they're sort of mini movies. You know, the kid's a freaking genius. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, before I get into what I thought of Dimash, what did you think of him, Autumn?
I loved his voice. I liked some of the songs. Some of them I wasn't a fan of, but more because I don't know. Like his screaming song, I was just like, he was very much like, I did this wrong thing and I need you to forgive me now. And I'm like, say sorry. Tell her you're going to fix it and then she'll forgive you. So that was a little bit like, I was like, but I loved his voice. It was amazing. And the music was amazing too. Definitely a unique voice. Very, very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I started listening to this album after I finished Enya today, and like CJ and I are going back and forth, and I'm at that point already talking on Messenger.
Where he doesn't even sing in English.
And I'm like, did you really pick it? I said to him, like, did you really pick it after hearing one song? I was like, did you really pick an album where they don't speak English? And he's like, I think he speaks English at some point, and yeah, he does in some songs. He has English lyrics in certain parts.
He sings in 13 languages, so
I saw that. Yeah,
depending on like what songs he's doing, some of them are in English, some of them are in Mandarin, some are in Kazakh, some are in Japanese, some are in French, some are in German. I mean, the kid is. He plays 11 instruments. He composes his own music, sings in 13 languages, has a 7.5 octave vocal range. The kid's pretty much an alien, in my opinion, because
well, you know, I mean, he's basically Prince with more octave range.
He's kind of like Pavarotti and Prince put together, more or less, man. I mean, but the thing that makes him unique and what really endears him, no pun intended, his music fans are called deers, is he's so humble.
Interesting.
All of his money that he raises, that he earns, he turns around and he puts it into these charities that he has, like World Peace and hunger and human migration, things like that. Like he really is this super charitable, low key, very, very humble guy. And you know, he's doing things not just musically that other people can't do, but he turns around and turns it into positive change. You know, he doesn't just talk about it. He rarely talks about what he does. He just goes out and he does it. And he's a U.S. peace ambassador. You know, he's been awarded multiple awards for humanitarian causes. So he's really not just a phenomenal musician. He's a phenomenal human being, you know. And that's kind of what, once I learned about him and I heard his voice, I was like, wow, you know, now I got to learn about him. And when you start reading about him, what he does, he's really on a different level of consciousness and humanity, man. Like the kid is really special, you know. So I am all for what this kid is about, man. Like you know, and he's another one. When I need to chill, I turn his music on because his music really, you know, you can really just kind of sink into the whole vibe of what his stuff is. And he's done covers of Queen, and he's done famous Broadway stuff, and he's covered Celine Dion and Eric Carmen, and
Did you say Eric Cartman? Did you say Eric Cartman?
No, Carmen.
Oh, okay.
The old classic song "All by Myself."
I was gonna say if he covers some Cartman songs from South Park, I would be like highly interested in hearing those. But
he has the one song where he does they did the video where it's like a vampire type thing. He like plays almost a interview with a vampire type of thing with the reporter. She comes in and it's like this New Orleans blues type of thing.
All right, I got
very versatile. Like he's very much like Prince in that sense. Like he does blues and he does classical and he does pop and he does like K-pop type stuff. And I mean, he really is.
I mean, I'm a
wondrous, different kind of person. So,
well, what can I say about Dimash? Because I mean, this was two new experiences for me tonight. People I never. Well, okay, one person I heard of, obviously, and one person I never heard of. And at first I was like, "What the heck is he having me listening to?" The first couple tracks, I'm like, "What is this?" And then a couple tracks hit, and I'm like, "Wait a minute now." I'm like, some of these I can get into and I can really like vibe with. Like some of them blew me away. And as much as Autumn says she hates that song, I love that song "Screaming" and I love the remix. Like the lyrics in those songs are genius, and I like his mood in them. I like the vibe in them. Like I've been there. I can like just I could feel it. So it's a lot of his music I can get with. I mean, not all of it. Some of it's just like, what is this? But other parts of it, I'm like, okay. I'm like, and his voice is right away. I picked up on his voice in the first song. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I will listen to this whole album for his voice if I have to, because his voice is incredible. It's very rare I say I hear a voice that's better than Freddie Mercury or Prince, and he kind of blew them out of the water with his voice.
Well, Freddie is one of his musical idols.
I'm sure.
But I would bet money. That if Freddie were alive today and heard Dimash, Freddie would probably demand to do a song with him. Like if Freddie would want to record with him.
Hands down, I would bet $1,000 on that. I hands down. So, like it's as much money. I would bet as much money I have in my bank account on that, because I know he would. But Dimash's voice blew me away, and his music's amazing. Some of the songs were just so beautiful. I was like sitting there like awestruck, like, oh my god, like how's he come up with this? Like
he's definitely not going to be for everybody, but for those people who appreciate a different kind of sound, a more mellow, ethereal type of sound, Dimash really kind of is in the league of his own. Like there's very few people that are going to be in that range where he's at. You have your Michael Crawfords, your Sarah Brightmans, and your Bocellis, people like that. But I mean, singers of his type are kind of 1 out of 1,000, and then when you add in all the languages, all the instruments, the fact that he composes his stuff, it really sets him apart from the rest of the field.
I mean, he started at a young age, and you could tell. Like I read he started very young. He started like at 6 or 7, I think I read. And
his father is the leader of the Kazakh National Orchestra. So he's been trained by the best, but being trained by the best doesn't always guarantee success if you're not willing to put in the work and the time. And you can tell that he has put in the time and the practice and all of the things that are required to get to this level. On so many levels, like, you see sons of rock stars, Julian Lennon and Sean Lennon and Bob Dylan's son, who grew up with music, the best teachers, but never really scratched the surface of what they should have been able to do with their background.
100%. I mean, same goes for rappers. Same goes for rappers. I mean, look at Coolio's son. I saw him live, like performing with his father before he died, and he can't rap compared to his father at all.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I mean, so.
Yep, it just proves that just because it's in your blood doesn't mean nothing. Not
Yeah,
at all.
you got to put in the effort. No matter who you are, how good you are, there is some degree of, yes, you're born with a talent, a natural talent, but you still have to nurture that. You still have to practice it. You still have to put in the time and the effort. And it's not just music. It's writing. It's speaking. It's no matter what you're doing. You can be a natural writer, but if you don't practice that craft, if you don't practice using words and telling stories and speaking, then it doesn't matter how much natural talent you have, because it'll go to waste if you don't, add muscle to it.
Yeah. What's the word I'm thinking of, CJ? Starts with an N, I think, but when your family hands you everything.
Nepotism.
Yeah, I mean, nepotism doesn't mean
Yeah.
you're going to be great. Nepotism doesn't mean you're going
It's
to be
not
great.
just nepotism. I mean, you could be born a 6'5", 250-pound natural athlete, but if you don't lift weights, if you don't run, if you don't exercise to tone your muscles and it doesn't matter that you're born at that size, because you're going to be awkward and you're not going to have the degree of talent that you were born with. It's like I said, it's with writing, it's with reading, it's with speaking, it's with anything. The more you use it, the more you practice it, the better you're going to become. The fact that you were born with a talent and then you practice it more, it puts you further ahead. But at the same time, that talent can go to waste if you don't practice it, if you don't use it, if you don't sort of flex that muscle, so to speak.
Exactly. I mean, but CJ, what were your top 5? I'm kind of down to hear for this album.
I wrote down 3 mainly. Screaming is my one. I love the beat of the song. It just kind of has that K-pop type of thing. Give Me Your Love. Really like his breath control on that one. And then the other one is Just Let It Be. Just Let It Be just really has this giant, massive tone to it that, it's such a classy piece of music, and it's a love song, but it kind of isn't. So those are the main 3 that I wrote down just for time and whatnot.
Well, you got 3 out of my 6, so there you go. Yeah. But
it's like the Enya record. You could have wrote down any song off of that record, and it would have been correct, because there's really not a bad song on that record. So I put 3 just for the sake of time and having to talk more than necessary.
Well, Autumn, what were your top songs for Dimash?
Yeah, so number 5, I did War and Peace. And then number 4 is Give Me Love. So there was 2 songs on there. One was Give Me Your Love, and then one was Give Me Love. There were 2 songs that had very similar titles. So that was interesting.
I guess I didn't catch that.
I'm pretty sure. Like, because you said yours was Give Me Your Love, and then mine was Give Me Love. I'm pretty sure I remember that there
She's correct. She's correct. There is.
Okay.
There is.
I guess I didn't realize that one.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't catch it either when I was doing it, but I also didn't really like either of them, so that explains why.
Well, number 3. What's that?
I said that's a lie, actually, but okay, I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Number 3, I don't know how to pronounce it. I looked up the pronunciation, so hopefully I don't say it wrong. Sajindim Seni? It's number 9 on the album.
That's the one he sings in Kazakh. That's his native language.
Oh, it was good. And number 2 is Just Let It Be. And number 1 was If I Never Breathe Again.
That's a really good song.
Yeah, I had one honorable mention for Dimash because this album kind of blew me away a little bit. Give Me Your Love was my honorable mention. I did like that one, apparently. It was a good song. Just wasn't as great as the other ones, but it was a good song. Just Let It Be was my number 5 because I was getting Beatle vibes with the Let It Be part, but Just Let It Be it blew me away. It was a really good song. I like kind of like the way he does his voice high in certain parts of it and low at the other parts. It really was put together well. War and Peace are number 4. Even though I couldn't understand a word he freaking said in it, I still love the music in it. The music in it was gorgeous. So War and Peace, one of my list immediately. Number 3 was Moonlight Mama. I didn't really get the meaning of it, but it was just beautifully orchestrated, so I had to put it on the list. Number 2 was Screaming, because I freaking love that song and the remix. Screaming is such a fun song. I've had those emotions. I've been there, so it blew me away. The poetry in that is gorgeous. And number 1 is If I Never Breathe Again, because it reminded me of a lot of the metal songs I listen to that are heavier but have the same message. But it was beautifully put together, and he didn't need to scream or have heavy guitar behind him to really like get that message across. I mean, it's almost like Motley Crue's If I Die Tomorrow. Like it had like the same feeling to it. Just
I said this once, and I'll say it again. I want to see Dimash do a duet with Devin Townsend. I know Devin is known for being like heavier music, but Devin's done a lot of like really weird, like orchestral stuff as well.
Yep.
And if you know Devin's got a monster voice. Devin and Dimash together, I think would probably rip a hole in like the time continuum because their voices are just so powerful together that and Devin writes like really wild stuff, Ziltoid the Innocent, the coffee guzzling alien searching the universe for the best cup of coffee.
Yep.
I think the two of them together would just do something so
every time we bring up that damn album, I keep saying I gotta go re-listen to it because I haven't heard that album in a good decade, and that album is so good. But it's I keep saying
like just the concept, a concept record about a coffee guzzling alien it's funny to think about, but then you hear the record and it's like, okay, he actually wrote this sort of death metal-ish or this death prog-ish record about a coffee guzzling alien.
It's a space opera. It's literally a space opera, and it's amazing.
It's like if Slayer and Frank Zappa got together is kind of what it's like. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up and let you do your
well, I mean, yeah, and Dimash, I might have to explore more of his music as well, same as Enya, because I mean, they both blew me away, and I kind of want to put them on the list. It's a long list. I'm just hitting stuff. Actually, I'll get to that in a minute because I'm just saying stuff now that I put in the list like a year ago or more. So, yeah, what can I say? But I guess it's time to talk about my album. And see, the last time Autumn was on, I brought Lord of the Lost. And while Autumn did appreciate the poetry in his music, she couldn't listen to the actual songs because they're just too heavy for her and she couldn't handle it, which I get.
Not I'm sick. I just my illness. So
I mean, I get it, but and
I'm
CJ
sort of a fan, but some other stuff kind of just over my head. So
I love. There's not a thing he's done. He literally was number 3 out of my top 5 artists for this past year on Spotify. So I can't get enough of him. He blows me away. His voice is, he can go from screaming to melodic singing 1 second to the next. He's incredible. But so I promised Autumn, I'm like, I actually came up with this idea for this album for her last time we talked. I'm like, I have an album I think she actually would enjoy. So I'm like, let me bring it on. And I've been meaning to bring this album on for a freaking year, literally a year and a month since it came out. And I just haven't had, there hasn't been the episode where I thought it kind of molded into it anywhere. Like, I'm just like, I need someone who's going to appreciate this album. I mean, and my co-host before, CJ, I didn't think would appreciate it really or really respect it enough. So I found Miss Patty Gurdy literally at first on Facebook on Reels. That's where I found her from, was on Facebook on Reels. And I dug in a little eventually and started listening to more. And then all of a sudden she started popping up everywhere as a guest on other bands I love, like Ailstorm, and and then she actually introduced me to another band I love that I've brought on the show, Stardust. So I she is a musical talent and a half. She has a voice. She plays the most unique instrument in the world that no one's ever heard of, and I'm like I freaking love Patty Gardy. And then when she finally released her first full length album last year, Tavern, I fell in love with this album so hard, and it introduced me. As I was saying, this is what I meant when I said it literally introduced me to other artists I never heard of. Because there's an artist on one of these songs called Adaya, who I almost wanted to bring today. If I didn't want to bring Patty Gardy on finally, I would have brought her because she has one of those her solo albums are some of the most beautiful music you'll ever hear in your life, and her voice is phenomenal. She's very folkish, very almost like basically like folklore tall tales type songs. I Irish, maybe even Irish folk to a degree, but so I'm like, I had to bring Patty Gardy. I'm like, Patty Gardy's Tavern is just one of the best albums I've heard in a long time, and I love Patty. She's everything she does is amazing.
Her second record though.
Hmm?
It's her second record, full length. She's got 3.
Oh, I don't. Cause the other ones are more EPs and albums. They're not like full length. I don't think so.
Pest and Power is full length.
I thought it was only 6 or 7 tracks, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, and I wasn't. I honestly, Pest and Power didn't blow me away. It didn't blow me away. So this one blew me away because I think she finally got the means to put together a real album and like have guest stars and everything else, and it blew me away. There's because she jumps back and forth between different genres in this album, and I just can't get enough of her, and I can't get enough of the instrument she plays, the hurdy-gurdy. I freaking love that instrument. It's so beautiful sounding. You could put it in a metal song, you could put it in a very calm folk song, and it still sounds amazing. So it's kind of like the Cerulean flute that Troy plays in Nightwish. Like it's kind of just like a perfect instrument to play anywhere. So I wanted to bring Patty because it's time she got some recognition on this show, and hell, if I can get her on the show one day, I'd be honored and possibly bowing down like Wayne's World style at her feet. But what did you think of Patty Autumn? Because I hope this one you could listen to.
Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting because my one daughter really likes this type of music. She gets into Irish music or just like really fun songs like that. And my kids and I love it when they find new music because we'll share songs with each other. I'll be like, I found this new song. You got to listen to it. And they'll do the same and they'll share their music with me. So that's a fun thing that we do in our family. But this made me think of my one daughter who really likes this type of music. And I do too. It just made me think of her, but not all the songs, but a lot of them. And it's just, I don't know. I enjoy sharing songs and learning new music, obviously. So that's a thing we do kind of like you guys, but just at home with each other. But yeah, beautiful voice. A really fun album.
Yeah, her voice is incredible. Hearing her sing with Noah, the lead singer of Stardust, like the two of them together is just it's basically a musicasm. Like just hearing the two of them together is a musicasm to me. It's just mind blowing. But I could watch that video every day of my life multiple times and never get sick of it. But plus, it doesn't help. They're both really good looking, so you know it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all that they're really good looking. But Patty is a gorgeous woman. I will say that. But her talent outweighs her beauty by so much, and that's saying something. But CJ, we haven't talked about her really besides when Stardust came on. So, what do you think of Patty?
I've heard Patty here and there. It's a unique instrument. It's, you know, if the thing with Patty is to me you kind of have to be in that frame of mind for it. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be fun music. So it's not something you're going to listen to if you just want to chill out or if you're kind of down or whatever. Kind of in that reggae, you know, like it makes you happy. So not something I listen to every day, but not something that I dislike. I love her skill set. I love that she records with a lot of people that I like separately. I love a good, not just pirate jig, but a good Irish jig. Irish. It's why I like Irish folk and Irish punk music so much. Is that sometimes you just kind of like the record we did the other day.
Feel the screen.
You just
Yeah.
they hit on that sort of don't it's just got that lilt and beat to it that it's just fun and boisterous, and that's kind of like what Patty reminds me of. There are songs obviously that are a little slower and more.
I was gonna say I don't think
there is stuff that's more theatrical, but there's also stuff that is exactly what I was talking about.
There is. I was gonna say though, because like she has a song for every mood, in my opinion. Like I can be depressed as hell, and like the one song on this album will lift me up every time. Actually, two of the songs on this album lift me up every time. But you're right. Some of the songs are just pure fun, and that's a great. It's not this album, but she does a song with the Snake Charmer called "When the Trolls Come Out." Like, and it's just like one of the most fun songs you'll ever hear. Like, there's even a music video of like the two of them like singing while they're being chased by like animated trolls, and it's just it's hilarious to watch.
I heard her do a song with John Goblin, like her on one of the Necker Goblicon songs. I think.
Okay, yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah. She'll be playing more in the future. I know that she's not going anywhere. Yeah. She just released a single, "The Red Baron," which is amazing. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a Sabaton song she covered, but.
Okay.
I think I know she's on tour with Sabaton right now. I think, but
love Sabaton.
I never really got into them, but from what I've heard of them, I do like them. But I had an honorable mention for this one as well, and honestly, I can't believe this is my honorable mention. I thought it would be like my top two, but "Find Me Some Pretty Girls," which is the first single off this album, and which is what it's a song that introduced me to Adaya, and the other woman that's on it. Pernilla, whatever her name is. Pernilla Canapin. She's not bad either. I just can't. I tried listening to all her music and I just can't because it's in a completely different language and I don't understand a freaking word of it. So I'm like, I can't. I just can't. And it's too instrumental too. She's just too instrumental, like completely like instrumental, and not in a good way like Enya. But I mean, she's in the video. She's the violin player. But yeah, I mean, Adaya's voice is amazing, and she's very folksy. So I listened to her two albums, and I was blown away. She'll be on the show eventually, that's for damn sure. But "Find Me Some Pretty Girls" is a fun song, and the fact that a song like that is sung by all females kind of blew me away. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I love that she did that. But I don't know. I don't know her preferences in the LGBT spectrum, but I would almost guess she's bi. But I don't want to assume things I don't know. My number 5 was "Brighter Days Come," because that is a song that if you're depressed, that song will lift you up any day of the week. "Brighter Days Come" is just such a beautiful song. The way she sings it's perfect. And same with my number 4, "Rise Up." That's a song that just lifts your spirit. And I love the way she does like the different octaves in her voice when she does that one. Like when she's doing the chorus, it's just perfect. My number 3, though, my number 3 is kind of a throwback to a '90s song, and I freaking love they did it that way because it's Christopher Bounds, I want to say, yeah, Christopher Bowes, the lead singer of Ailstorm, like guest on it with her, and I mean she's guested on their stuff, so he I guess he agreed doing it for her, and Peg Leg Silly Billy is they rip off Aqua's Barbie song in the beginning, and I freaking love it. "Hey, Patty, want to go on a boat ride?" Like, I didn't even realize they did that even until I saw people commenting on it on YouTube. I was like, oh my God, they did. I didn't even put that 2 and 2 together. And the music video is literally the funniest thing ever because it's just the two of them in like a canoe while they're performing. And he just keeps pulling like all these dolls out of like his pirate coat. And she's just looking at him like, where is he getting these? It's the funniest thing in the world. Like some of her videos are just amazingly hilarious. But my number two is, I think, is one of the greatest love songs of all time, and that's "I Am With You," because it has the great Marco Hietala on it from Nightwish and solo artists as well. But Marco Hietala has I love his voice in songs like this, and he does such a good job on his part of the course, and his verses are amazing. Like, and the two of them together sound natural. Like, I would honestly love to hear a duet album from them. I would love it. And my number one, I didn't think this would be my number one, but it keeps blowing me away every time I hear it, and it's just a fun Irish like folktale basically, and that's the Dragon from Lower Hill. Like it reminds me of like all the classic like myths and legends I love from medieval times and whatnot. So it's just a fun song. Like it's a fun song, and I love her voice in it. Her voice blows me away every time I hear it. Just can't get enough of it. And it's about a dragon. Who doesn't like dragons? I mean, come on now. But every boy loves dragons when they're little. So even when they're grown up, you still love dragons. If a movie's a dragon in it, I'm freaking watching it. But unless it's Godzilla, then I kind of get turned off. I don't know why. But it's a different story. But what are your top songs for that? Autumn, I'm dying to hear.
Yeah, number 5 was Eden. Number 4 was Up to the Stars. It only had those 2 lines of lyrics, but it had that instrument. It's called a hurdy-gurdy. Is that what it's really called?
A hurdy-gurdy, yep.
I looked it up and I was like, is that really the name of the instrument? Yeah. But it's a very beautiful instrument. It's similar to like a violin, maybe.
It's kind of like a violin mixed with the what the heck's the name of that instrument that the guys that used to have
like
the dancing
4
monkey.
instruments in one, basically. It's like a violin, accordion.
What's that? Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the instrument that the guys that had the dancing monkeys used to always play back in like the olden days?
It's the accordion.
No, not an accordion. It like the spinning part inside is another instrument. I forget what it's called. It's like I gotta look that up now. But please continue. Oh, an organ grinder. An organ grinder. Like that's the kind of the main element of it is the organ grinder because it's the thing she's turning while she's playing it. Like it's kind of like an organ grinder. So that's kind of like the main element of it. And they add the violin strings on, and it has like the accordion keys that make like an accordion. So I mean, it's an interest. She's one of the only people I've ever seen actually play it. So I've seen a couple of people on YouTube that play it, but none of them sound as good as her.
Yeah, it was really cool. So number 3 is I Am With You. Number 2, Brighter Days Come. And number 1, I Am Free. They're all really pretty songs. I enjoyed that album.
Yeah, I kind of don't like the 3 in the middle that Pernilla's on. Like the 3 in the middle that Pernilla's on in a row, I'm just like, these are just too weird of songs. Like I can get into them somewhat, but it's just I don't know. They're in some other language too, and I think that's part of what turns me off. So I'm like, I don't know what they're saying, and I don't want to sit here and translate a whole song. But
I translated all of them. Every song that was in a different language, I made sure to translate to read them.
Maybe that would make things better, but I don't know. I have to find time to do that. But CJ, what are your top songs?
The 3 that I wrote down are Dragon from Lower Hill, I'm With You, and the fact that it has Danny on it. My number 1 was Peg Leg Silly Billy. It just was a fun song, and it kind of had that sort of Irish lilt type of thing that I like so much about bands like Flogging Molly and the Real Mackenzies, and
it's sung with a Scottish pirate, so come on now, it's got to be an Irish folk song.
It's got that sort of jig lilt type of vibe with that. You're supposed to get up and dance, and like I said, I've known about Ailstorm for a long time. I've never really paid much attention to them until the other day I saw the video of them bringing the kid on stage, singing the Anchor song.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, that's not a real song. Then I looked it up and was like, oh, damn, that's a real song. Okay, then.
I mean, that song is one of the most fun songs you ever hear in your life.
I know, but I'd probably be pissed as a parent if a band pulled my 13-year-old on stage to sing that song.
No, they can put my 11-year-old on stage any day of the week and sing that song to him, and I would just sit there laughing, having a good time with it. But
I really have a problem with my 13-year-old swearing. So I definitely don't need a pirate metal band encouraging him even more.
I think every parent these days has that problem because the kids have so many bad influences between YouTube and whatnot that I mean I have to yell my son all, and yeah, I mean we're our own worst enemies when it comes to that. Trust me, I know. I anybody who knows me knows I have a mouth like a damn sailor. But and it's hard, especially when you're flipping it when your kids are pissing you off. It's hard to let it hold it in. But it is what it is. I mean, you, do as I say, not as I do. That old adage is there for reasons. But
he says it all the time. He's like, "Why can I not say it? Because you say it." Look.
Well, I mean,
you can't say it because I said you can't say it. Okay, I'm the parent. You're the child.
Exactly. It's like when they hear my music, I'm just like, they get paid to say it. When you get paid to say it, come talk to me, and we'll take some of your money, and we'll be good. But until those days, no. I don't want to hear. I mean, I'm not even religious, but you say the Lord's name in vain, you're getting yelled at. Like I'm not religious even anymore. I haven't been religious in 25 years, but you use those words, in a vain, I will say something to you because it's just not right. Even if I do it. So yeah. It's fun being a hypocrite sometimes. But hey, my parents did it to me, so I have every right to do it to my kids.
No one's perfect.
No.
We do our best. That's what
exactly.
We do best. Love your kids. Teach them good things.
We try our damn hardest.
What you're doing.
It's hard because like you hear things and it brings back jokes you'd forgotten like years ago. I learned a joke when I was about 7 years old about a piccolo player. And I hadn't thought about that joke in 30 years, honestly, 35 years. And then somebody on Facebook the other day said, something about, and who called that guy a piccolo player anyway. That's what they posted. And I immediately was like, oh my God, I swear I thought I was the only person on earth who knew that joke. And when I mentioned it, the guy was like, you know that joke? And I was like, yes, I know that joke. He's like, dude, that joke is so old. And I was like, yeah, it's from the old Gene Tracy truck driving jokes from the 1960s. So unless you were a truck driver or a son of a trucker, you don't know this joke. It's not one of them jokes that was passed around a lot, but it's a hilarious joke. And that's what I'm saying. Like even when I'm trying to be appropriate, I have friends who bring up stuff that, make me be inappropriate because you sort of bring back those memories and, my mind works overtime to have to be like this. So.
Well, folks, we brought you your 3 albums, but, before we go, I happened to mention to Autumn last time that I happened to write a book of poetry / I called them raps back when I wrote them, but rap / poetry back in college when I was singing in my car, getting stoned between classes. And I happened to find it today. Just after looking for 20 minutes, I finally found it like a minute for the show. I'm like looking one last place, and there it was. I was like, all right. I almost was like at the point where I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going to be able to provide this, but shit, if I'm going to embarrass myself, I might as well get done with it. Actually, no, I'm reading a lot of these. I'm just like, I got to freaking get with somebody who does beats, or I got to publish them or something. There's both in here. I could do raps and poetry on some of these. So, but this is a shorter one, but you got it. It's coming up. This is a Jeremy original, copyrighted 2011 at some point. I don't have a date in this one. The other ones are dated around that, so we'll go with that. It was definitely 2011, but I call this one Forgotten. I don't even remember why, but well, kind of do. But she looks right through me like a ghost. I can't blame her. I got no reason to boast. I call her name and she doesn't even care. In her mind, I'm not even fucking there. She looks like right through me with a blank stare. It happens so often my heart is broken beyond repair. Yeah, I had a rhyming thing going. I still do to this day. But nobody remembers me from high school. Can't blame them. Only in my mind was I cool. To think I'd have many friends made me a fool. When teachers asked, all I had to say was fuck the rules. In relationships, I've always been used as a fool. Forced to give them money while I worked like a mule. So many times I've been forgotten, like a tomato in the fridge that's become rotten. Nobody ever has or will care that I'm alive. How are you supposed to survive when no one cares if you die? When my funeral comes, nobody will show. Where I'm buried, only the worms will know. Maybe when I get to hell, I'll be remembered. Into the council of the devil, I'll be a member. Bam.
So, did you start talking in the middle of that, or was that the whole thing? Because it seemed like you paused in the middle and started saying something. But
No,
was
that's
that the whole?
that
Okay.
was the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. You looked up and then you started talking, and I was like, "Wait, he's saying something about what he's reading," and then you went right through. I was like, "Wait, I think that was the whole thing."
No, I put commentary in the middle of them sometimes.
Okay. That was really good. I think if you did publish that, that could really help other people feel like they're not alone and like seen and heard and their feelings and stuff like that. I think that's what's good about sharing things when we're having a hard time.
And folks, that's something I wrote 14 years ago, and to this day I look at that. I just looked at the first time in 14 years, and I was literally like, "That's not bad." I'm like, I can't believe I wrote that. That came from my freaking brain. Oh my god. I mean, a lot of this stuff is Juggalo raps, 100%, 100 freaking percent, because that's what I was into back then, getting into huge back then. So a lot of it is not something I'd read in my podcast. I probably know people think I'm a serial killer, but still,
gotta get the emotions out, write it out.
I was in dark places back then, and that song was more of a depression song. But I definitely got to look through those more, though. Some of that stuff was blowing me away, and I'm like, all right, I really got to dig in detail some of this and figure out what to do with it. So, I thank you, Autumn, because I honestly would probably never have actually thought about sharing those ever if you didn't say something. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I got to go look at those again. I'm like, I kind of had a feeling they might be like too immature and too insane, but I'm looking back at them, I'm like, I love artists that put out this type of stuff nowadays. So to this day, I mean, why shouldn't I share it? Because I can be one of those artists, for God's sake. So I don't know. What do you think, Mr. CJ?
What? I'm sorry.
Here I am pouring my heart out, and he just is like, "What?" But
no, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't bad. I mean, I've written far worse. I've written stuff that I read it now and I kind of cringe at it.
There are some of those in that book, trust me.
But there's other stuff that I've won awards for. So,
what have you written that you've won awards for?
I actually, the very first thing I ever wrote in first grade, Young Authors of America, I wrote a book about animals, and I ended up winning for the entire state of Michigan.
Wow.
Got to meet the governor. I beat out 12th graders.
Oh my gosh!
For the state that year. Got to
That's
meet
incredible.
The governor of Michigan, have dinner with him. I won a $150 savings bond, which in 1978, was really an incredible amount of money for a first grader to win. I've been writing ever since. I actually have a degree in journalism in creative writing. I'm back in college now for media communications and music production. Have my first books coming out early next year.
That's awesome.
So we have a horror comedy coming out. I like to describe it as Van Wilder meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's kind of it's sort of a Dexter style horror book with a lot of metal and pop culture references in the sort of Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Van Wilder vein. Imagine if Ryan Reynolds was a cranky truck driver who liked heavy metal and then came across a serial killer in the Dexter vein. That's kind of what the book is going to be in the vein of. And then we have a nonfiction book called Woulda, Shoulda, Coulda, all about those great bands from the 80s and the 90s that could have, should have, and would have been big if not for, record labels being record labels. So those would be the first book is called All Men Are Cremated Equal. So
That's great.
fun play on words.
Very true.
Yeah. It was one of them conversations that you're sitting around with your friends drinking half drunk, and it just kind of popped into my head that, hey, this would be a good song title. And I actually have a song that goes with it, but ended up using it more for the book title than the song title. So yeah, I've written a lot of stuff. I've done journalism stuff. I mean, if you look me up on the internet, there's hundreds of music reviews and a YouTube channel with music reactions and best. I'm known for my year-end best of lists. I do like a top 30 for like 7 different categories. So there's like 200 records that I sort of point out at the end of the year, like, hey, there's 30 records in metal, 30 records in rock, 30 records in hard rock, 30 records in hip hop, 30 country, Americana, bluegrass. These are 30 records within this genre that you should have either listened to or should listen to because they're really freaking amazing. And it's not the mainstream stuff. It's not like the low hanging fruit. It's the more underground type stuff. So
they are good lists. I looked at them last year, and they were.
This year's list is loaded with great stuff.
But well, folks, that brings this one to an end. Autumn, where can they find you and your amazing books of poetry?
On Amazon, they can buy my book Clouds on the Ground, or they can check me out on Instagram at Autumn Williams Poetry. I share a lot of stuff there.
She does, and it's very inspiring, a lot of it. And
thank you.
Good writing overall. But I enjoy reading them. But CJ, where can they find you besides the 2 books that you've mentioned?
Yeah, just type in Music God CJ Plain. The website is musicgodcjplain.rocks. The YouTube channel is Music God Reacts. Pretty much everything else is Music God CJ Plain. It's kind of, a name a teacher gave me that I turned into a brand because, hey, everybody needs a brand, and why not use the thing you've been known as since 7th grade? So, yeah. So just type in what you see on the screen. I'll pop up.
Yeah.
You can't miss a ugly face.
If I went by what I was calling 7th grade, I wouldn't get anywhere. But you can catch both your musers as always on Facebook as Squatchy Largefoot, on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard, and the best place always is YouTube. Everything Maniacal Music Musings is done is on YouTube. You can see me and 2 of my co-hosts' ugly faces as well, and of course you can see the lovely Jamie Forrest's beautiful face. I ain't gonna call her ugly because she'll kick my ass. But you can check us all out there. Have a good one, everybody. We'll be back next week with our regular scheduled programming as soon as the guest gets back to me. And you can also check us out a week from Saturday. It's our yearly Christmas bracket, and Christmas pop got chosen, much to my chagrin. But I will suffer through Christmas pop one time only. 49 songs. Shoot me now. That week's gonna be a week of driving hell. But well, I'll be there. Check us out then, everybody. Have a good one.